move down a bit so we're not shadow figures. Tell us a little bit about kind of fleshing out this particular character. I mean, he's a Queens guy, you're a Queens guy. How much of you is there, and how much of this is, you know, something that you developed with these guys?
Well, a lot of it, I guess I was kind of acting like me. It wasn't, I mean, the whole thing was scripted. Heaven knows what was like a docudrama. You know, it was more improv, but this was all scripted. So I was reading off a script the whole time. But I also did improv a lot too.
I mean, he did that entire monologue in one take. He's freakish talent.
I'm a freak. No, I mean, some of the stories are from real life. I actually did jump out of a taxi cab. That happened to me. Some guy, you know, I had lost my wallet that night, and I didn't have any money to pay the fare. I went all the way from Manhattan to Queens, and then, you know, I was like, it's all right, I'll let you hold my phone. I'm just gonna go in the house, get the money, and come back out. And the guy wasn't having it. Basically just how that went down, the same exact thing. He's like, well, we'll ride to the precinct and let the cops handle it. And I was like, oh, no.
You were on your way to my house, and I was like, I'm not there.
Yeah. And no, the dude was crazy. I mean, I'm sure some of you that's happened before, you know, right? Am I right? Where you don't have the money for the cab ride, but you know, maybe yeah, right? Like, well, not jump out. Did you jump out? No, I'm joking. Well, you know, I was gonna let him hold my phone, and you know, that's collateral. And go get the money and come out. Which, you know, it's normal. Like, it happens. And this guy was crazy. He just like slammed on the gas, and I got the door open, just like in the movie. And eventually, I had to jump out. I wasn't gonna go to the police station and get arrested for some bullshit, you know.
I think we can see how you nailed that monologue in one shot.
Thank you.
So, Rob, I heard you discovered these guys by reading some publication or something like that, right? That may have been your article, man. Yeah, no, I saw it on IndieWire. What's up?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just a weird thing. I just thought the photo was amazing, and then I just had a really good feeling about it. I mean, when I met them, they were saying Buddy was going to be in it, and I really love Buddy and Heaven Knows What. I thought it'd be fun to do something with them, and yeah, they just create a lot of energy in their movies, and so like I just wanted to do something which is just insanely intense, and I think hopefully that's what it feels like.
I should butt in and just say that the email that he sent us, the original email, was like riddled with mysticism and enthusiasm. It was very much, it was like, hey, I saw this still from this movie, and I feel a weird innate connection towards it, and it feels like it's somehow tied to my purpose, and because it's tied to my purpose, now it's tied to your purpose, and we need to meet up and talk. It was like literally like right out of the movie, and it was something that, you know, from his public image, you know, public image it was limited, and you know, I had no real conception of who Rob was beyond, you know, one movie basically, and yeah, when we met up, we met this guy who was filled with this mania and also this kind of war veteran mentality that he was constantly on the run trying to hide. Yeah, that came from that. Sorry, I'm just.
So the other thing that's kind of amazing about that is the result is that, you know, there's a real transformation going on here. I mean, I've talked to people who've watched this movie and they didn't realize it was you at first. So how much did you guys talk about that, kind of burying yourself in that role?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, from Heaven Knows What, I mean, I love what everybody did in it, and but I especially loved the mix between people who like Caleb, who I'd seen some other things before, and I thought it was really great. And he kind of was indistinguishable from from people who were playing themselves, and like I thought, you know, there's no higher point like which you can be as a performer, and I just kind of wanted to do that. But also, it was a long time of developing it, but also they're just. Josh and Ronnie just wrote a really inspiring script, and this was kind of, there's just something about it that just formed, that makes you move differently, and then the way we shot it in all the real locations. Nothing ever really felt too much like a movie. I mean, there was, you know, we would leave sets open, so real people would be going in and out all the time, and yeah. Is there anything you want to?
Yeah, just kind of I don't know, I think what the prep time that he gave us to allow to kind of build a history for his character was pretty enormous and special, because you know, you end up seeing it in like little things on the screen. You know, it's not necessarily overt, but it all built into something. And I think there was something Rob said about the way he got into the attitude of being a New Yorker was kind of seeing and meeting all these people from New York and then dispelling them from his mind. Like, I don't know you, I don't know anything about you, I don't know this place, I'm not from where you say I'm from. And then that kind of gave him this weird swag, like, and you're like, oh yeah, that guy is from here, because he clearly doesn't want to admit it. But
I think we did a little bit of a trick. We like said that the movie was going to start at a certain time, and then we just pushed it. So we had this like built-in development, and Rob was very open to that. He came to New York a bunch, and we did a lot of kind of high stakes kind of development, kind of, you know, hanging out in kind of garages, and we went on this walking tour. This local legend who buried somebody who he thought he killed, and the guy wasn't dead, and ended up digging himself out and walking down the street. And we were literally being walked through this entire like mini crime, but as if, because the character who did these crimes was very similar to who Connie was, so we went on this interesting like very regional tour. And then, you know, Benny was in character most of the time we went to these places, and Benny would kind of, in a Dunkin' Donuts, would, you know, just show Connie what it's like to have the baggage of you know, someone who isn't accepted by other people. And then, you know, I really put him through it. I said, we're going to go to Manhattan Detention Center downtown, and you know, you're going to be in character. And he's like, I don't have the voice down, I'm not going to say anything. He's like, just don't say anything then. So we just walked around, but we had early stage costume stuff, and it was interesting. I don't know. Everyone thought we worked for the city when we went there.
Well, Benny, since we're talking about performances, it would be great to hear a little bit more from you about playing the other brother in this scenario. I mean, obviously it's risky to play a character like this when that's not who you are in so many ways. So what was your process like? How did you approach that?
Well, we looked at casting people for actors, and then we also looked at people with developmental disabilities, and they were great people. But when we looked at our schedule and we kind of were doing some rehearsals with them, we realized the only way we were going to get at what we needed with the time we needed would kind of push them and do things that maybe they didn't want to do and take away their agency, and that's not how we wanted to make a movie. You know, we didn't want to do like something shocking like that.